Hello guys, we are going to discuss the first cause of the Great Depression. You should have out your notes template, and remember, you are writing down things that are significant, not everything word for word, and you are identifying main ideas. So we're going to discuss a stock market crash and speculation and how those things together led to the Great Depression. So your objective for this video is to be able to explain one cause of the Great Depression, which is a stock market crash, and you should also be able to identify 4 key terms after this video: stock market, speculation, and buying on margin. These objectives will directly link to your understanding check questions at the end of the video. So think about the context of the time. We just learned about the Roaring 20s, and what really characterized the 20s is how much fun and prosperity that was happening throughout the United States. You have a rise in consumerism, which means people have a little bit extra money and they were able to buy new products. There were new advertising techniques to get people to buy those products. You have the rise of the Harlem Renaissance. You have flappers and jazz and these speakeasies and bootlegging. We have the rise of sports during this time period. So overall, a rise in entertainment for the people. And this is the time period right before the Great Depression. So everyone is having a roaring good time, while most people are having a roaring good time in America. So Herbert Hoover is elected in 1929, and he says in his inauguration speech, "I have no fears for the future of our country. It is bright with hope." And there's a lot of quotes that Herbert Hoover said that indicate that he had no clue what direction the American economy was about to go in. So some terms that you should know, you might want to record these on the side of your notes, but you definitely need to understand these things before you move forward. A stock is a share of a corporation. So if I want to buy stock in Nike, I pay a specific amount of money for one share, and then I earn profits from that share. The stock market is that system where people buy and sell those stocks. Speculation is buying stocks that are really, really risky. And the reason that people do that is because they anticipate that the stock will rise in price so that they will have a large profit. And then last is buying on margin. So this is like buying a stock but only paying like a down payment on it and paying the rest later. So these people essentially take out loans to pay for the stock that they want, and they pay back those loans later, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, so the stock market crash. I want you to think about the 1920s and how people are feeling good and everybody's buying, right? So what this does is it drives prices up. And when prices go up, people invest because they think, I can buy, McDonald's stock for $113 a piece. And since McDonald's is on the rise right now, then I can sell it later, in a few months for $300 a share. So people are investing heavily in the stock market in the 1920s. And I've got some current day examples of stocks here. McDonald's is at $113. Look at Chipotle, whoa, $614 per share. And Twitter's super cheap, $26. So what this means is people are making money, they're spending money, and speculation and buying on margin are high during this time period. The stock market is rising. So if you look at this chart here, you can see the price per share versus the year. And you can see that prices for stocks are steadily rising all throughout the 1920s, and they peak in 1929. So two problems happen at the very tippy top here, or around this area, which contribute to the stock market crashing. Two things: speculation and buying on margin. So the issue with speculation is people were buying these risky stocks and assuming that they would improve because the market was climbing and improving. But think about what happens when you're buying risky stocks and the market actually takes a fall. And then the second issue is that people are only paying about 10% of what the stock cost. And so what happens is the rest of the cost of that stock goes into a specific loan. And this is really great when the market is healthy, because when prices are going up, then you're able to pay back that money that you took out in a loan with the profits from your stock. So if I'm only paying, if we look back at these stock prices, Chipotle is $614 for a share. So let's say we buy one share of Chipotle and we buy it on margin. So we're only paying about $60 for our share, right? The rest of that money is tied up in a loan. Well, if the stock market is rising and Chipotle stock ends up rising to, $2,000 a share, I've made back that money that I borrowed plus some. However, if the market goes down, right, and let's say Chipotle stocks go down to $60 a share, then I have lost all of that money that I borrowed to pay for it at $614. So these two things create this really bad environment up here at the top of the stock market. And eventually the market starts dropping. And in September, when the market starts dropping, all of these investors sell. They sell, because the idea of speculation is that the market is going up. So people are selling their stocks, which causes prices to fall even more. And I call this the timeline of blackness, because you can see there's Black Monday, Black Thursday, Black Tuesday. This all happens within a week. The stock market completely crashes. So the prices start falling, investors sell. The prices fall even more. So then the people who had bought those stocks on margin, all of their loans are called in. But since prices have fallen, they can't pay for those loans, which means that they go into debt and stocks continue to lose value. So by the end of all of this blackness, right, about $30 billion total has been lost in this stock market crash.